Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Emmanuel, your e-commerce growth expert, and in today's video, I'm going to be talking about 3 e-commerce trends that will change everything in 2021. So obviously, this year, 2020, has been a little bit special. A lot of crazy things have happened, and I actually expect that to get, even crazier potentially. And even if that's not the case, definitely 2020's policies by governments will have consequences. It's absolutely inevitable. And in this video, I'm going to be telling you about what this means for e-commerce businesses who want to advertise online and or who are already advertising online and how you're going to have to adapt. And the main value is really going to be that if you know what's going to happen in advance, and you'll see I'm going to prove to you that it's actually going to happen, you can then anticipate and use that to beat out your competition and make a lot more money than everyone else. So that's really the value of today's video. You're going to know what's going to happen. You can make the changes before you actually know, before other people know they need to make those changes. And then you're going to have first mover advantage in your market, and then you're just going to make a bunch of money. So it's going to be awesome. Just watch this video. Again, I'm your host, Emmanuel Friedenrich. Just a quick reminder, why should you listen to me? Because I specialize in helping e-commerce businesses grow their sales and profits. I've done it many times, whether it's for myself, scaling my own company to almost $6 million in revenue in its very first year in activity, as you can see here, or scaling, helping others companies scale their sales, their profitability, simply by using my marketing know-how and my general e-commerce know-how in terms of online advertising. So I won't spend too much time on this. You can watch other videos about my track record, but that's why you should listen to me. All right, so let's get right into it. Trend number one is a massive rise in traffic costs, which means basically your CPCs, which is driven by your CPMs. So this is not new, obviously. Any advertiser knows year after year, your CPMs are rising, your CPCs are rising. It's completely normal. However, it's going to get really, really bad for online advertisers. And there's two main reasons for this. And the number one reason is because big and mid-sized brands are already switching more and more of their ad spend online, given the world situation, right? Because, ads on your average poster on the street and things like that, well, those ads don't really matter that much anymore. And so a lot of big brands are spending more and more online. And it's, COVID has really just accelerated that. Also, you have brands that used to do direct mail. Now they're going to look at doing online a little bit more. Just overall, just big brands who come in, have multi-million-dollar marketing budgets per month, come in, and that's going to drive the CPCs up. That's inevitable. Now, the second thing is that more and more people are trying to use paid traffic to make money on the internet. Now, this is a little bit of a weird one, but hear me out here. What happens is, during a situation like the situation we're in now, what happens is more and more people don't have faith in their job security anymore. And what happens is, when people don't have faith in their job security, entrepreneurship is going to tend to increase. Now, entrepreneurship in 2020 and 2021, what it really means is starting an online business, right? Because you're not going to start a corner shop right now, or you'd be really stupid to do that. And so you have more and more people who are obviously buying courses about drop shipping and things like that. And that's just one small part, right? You also have people who are not involved in that at all. They open some consulting business or whatever. There's lots of different things like that. And they're going to try to use paid advertising to scale as well. And there's also a third reason, which is actually the trend number 3. So I'm not going to talk about it now, but keep watching it to know what it's going to be. So what should you not do with this in mind? So the first thing to think about is, CPCs are going to increase, right? So even if you do nothing, your business profitability is going to be lower. You're probably going to stop making money on your ads unless you're making incredible amounts of money right now. So you're just going to make less money from your ads, and it's going to happen. So I'm going to tell you what you shouldn't do with this knowledge in mind. The first one, and this is a big one, don't look for the sexy new traffic source that you think is going to transform your business. Hint, it won't change your business. I know so many people, they're looking into Snapchat, Pinterest, and I see their eyes sparkle when they talk about these things. It's like the savior that's going to come down, and suddenly they're going to make crazy amounts of money from their ads. Well, the truth is very different, because first of all, those sexy new traffic sources a lot of the time have very little volume. So ultimately, For companies that want to do really nice numbers, that's not going to be possible on those sources. And then second is you're thinking this, but other people are thinking the same thing too. So, this is a really big thing that I've learned about on the online business sphere in general, is that when everyone's talking about something around you, you should definitely not do that thing. And this is really what's happening with all these alternative traffic sources, is everyone's looking into those. And so it's really, you're not going to derive that much of a competitive advantage for that. Now, if you don't do this, the second thing you shouldn't do, obviously, is don't resolve yourself to lower ad spend and revenue, right? Because obviously you could just spend less, and then if you spend less, you can have lower CPMs, and that's going to be fine. But that's a loser's mindset. That's a loser's attitude, right? You can't, if things get harder, you don't back down. That's not really how you should do it. And then the third one is don't switch products or even industries in the hope that you'll find a new blue ocean, because it won't last, right? Like, if your business strategy is constantly starting new companies to avoid competition, you're in for a really tough time in the business world. I can guarantee you that much. Again, this is nothing new. This is just pretty obvious stuff. So what should you actually do with this in mind? Well, obviously, if you're doing it already, like I'm saying almost every video there's ever going to be on this channel, get a warehouse, build a quality differentiated product, and actually offer value to your customers, right? So if you're drop shipping right now, switch to a real brand where you actually ship your own products. If your product is not your own product, you should switch to making it your own product. And overall, just focus on actually solving problems, making your customers happy. Because long term, that will drive the success of your business. That should be the foundation for anything else that I talk about in this video. Now, the second thing is start finally using proven marketing principles to boost your EPCs, aka earnings per click, how much you make for anytime someone clicks on your ads, which is driven from your conversion rates, your cost per acquisition, conversion rates, your CPCs, and I just got lost there. No, but your EPCs is basically your earning per click, which means that it's derived from how much you make for every sale that you have, and then how much you actually convert on your landing pages, right? And that's going to drive your EPCs, and you should focus on trying to boost that, because then even if your cost per click increases, your earnings per click is going to match that, or even go beyond that. Again, I have a lot of videos on this channel that talk about how to boost your EPCs. So again, like and subscribe if you want more content about getting higher EPCs, and also look at the other videos on this channel. But a brief summary of how to do it: use advertorials in long form landing pages, because this is what converts best. It's what has converted best for almost 100 years now. It's the most proven way of making the most out of your advertising efforts. I'll probably have more videos about this in the future. Get credibility elements for your business, which are incredibly powerful for raising conversions, endorsements, media features. Anything you can do for that is always going to be very effective. And then focus on gathering positive customer feedback and emphasizing it more. So a lot of e-commerce brands don't take advantage of video testimonials, or even in your testimonials, including the customer's picture, etc. There's a lot of leverage you have for that, which is actually going to raise your EPCs as well. And finally, this is not related to EPC, is to build a better back-end marketing system so that you can have a higher lifetime value, and then you stop needing to make money on the first sale. So that's another thing, is if you're already doing everything right, which you probably aren't if you're watching this, but just let's assume you are, well then in that case, CPCs are going to increase, so you just have to anticipate it. So you might stop making money on the first sale, well then just make sure you make money on the other sales, right? And this is what a lot of big brands do, is they're willing to sometimes lose money on the customer acquisition so they can make it back later. Obviously, that's a little bit of an advanced topic. I'll talk about it in another video too, but it's a good thing to keep in mind. It's a strategy. It's an actual viable strategy that you can use. There's no shame in not making money on the first sale. Trend number 2 is a higher price competition. So as consumers are suffering from the current situation, particularly like lower middle class consumers, which constitute a really large portion of the population, obviously, the price sensitivity is inevitably increasing. Now, what that really means in practice is that people have a lower tendency to buy more expensive products. I don't know why I put big here, but you get the point. Your customers are becoming more price sensitive, which means that they pay more attention to differences in price between businesses. But it's still absolutely possible to succeed with a premium brand. And again, this is just a little chart that shows you that consumer spending had massively decreased in 2020. This chart, you can find it from Fortune magazine, I believe. And it just shows you that people are spending a lot more, right? And again, because you have more unemployment, even stimulus checks won't be enough to necessarily prevent that. And overall, also people's faith in the economy is lower, which means that they're less willing to part with their money, even if in practice there's stocks are still quite good and all these things. Consumers have less faith in the economy, and so they're going to be more, have a higher tendency to hoard their money, which is obviously not good for companies. However, what's the solution here? Well, I just call it be better. So first of all, watch my video, The Bible of E-commerce. I have a guide on how to lower price sensitivity in that video. That's super in-depth, super good stuff. So in short, emphasize why your products are really unique. If they're not unique, make them unique. That's a big switch. If your products aren't unique right now, just stop everything you're doing right now and go work on making your product unique. That's the best thing you can do after watching this video. Focus on how your products actually solve problems and benefit the consumer. Now, this is the good old features versus benefit. Make sure you use benefit-driven marketing. You're always focused on how the customer benefits from everything you're doing, whether it's your products, your service, your guarantees, etc. And potentially, now this is a little bit of an advanced strategy, but you can actually lower your prices a little bit. But then you make up for this by incentivizing people to order multiple units of your products. And this is going to be like a separate video in and of itself as well, but there's an art and a science to making people order more than they normally do from your e-commerce store. And it's a big thing you can do. It's something that I've used before in the case of higher price sensitivity, where you actually do, lower your product price. You're like, fair enough, but it's not going to actually change your marketing metrics because people are going to order more, so your average order value is going to even out. So that's potentially a viable strategy. Not the first thing that I would look into, but if you have to, sometimes you got to do what you got to do. Now, trend number 3 is skepticism to standard marketing increases. Now, again, this is not completely new, right? It just goes up year after year. But I think now more than ever, again, as people are hoarding their money, they're more skeptical than ever. They're in this very fear-based mindset from all the news, etc. They're just going to be more skeptical than ever. So your typical direct response approach, all these marketers and copywriters who make big claims, this is done. In 2021, this is dead. And if you're still doing it, you should definitely switch away. So what happens is consumers are more sophisticated and more skeptical than ever. What this means is they've seen it all, they've heard it all, they've bought low quality products before, they don't want to do it again. And so you're going to have a lot more resistance to those kinds of businesses. So it's actually become necessary to establish your brand's credibility to prove all your claims. And this is a thing that I'm really big on, is never assume that people believe what you say. They know you want to make money. They know you're a business owner. They know you want their money. So whatever you say, prove it. Prove it beyond a shadow of a doubt, beyond reasonable doubt, that everything you're saying is true. Because a claim, someone can be skeptical about it. If I tell you you're going to make $1 million, you can be super skeptical. But if I show you examples of businesses that have actually gotten this specific result, that's undeniable. You can't. It is what it is, unless you think I'm just gonna lie on a public channel, right? Which is unimaginable. And this is what the process that consumers go through when they see your ad. So this is a little chart. Now this is not directly related to your conversion rate. This is your CTRs because that's just the metric that I found. But what's happening is CTRs are getting lower and lower. This is actually the only data point, but I've seen data points before where CTRs, obviously ever since the beginning of the internet, have been going down. And they're going to keep going down. Why? Because customers are more jaded. Prospects are more jaded. They've seen all the ads. They're just sick of it. And the only way to counteract that is with proof-based marketing. So what's the solution? Raise your standards for your marketing's credibility. Establish processes to test more and better creatives. Super important. If CTRs overall are going down, you got to step up your effort on your creative side. Work with high-level copywriters to find new untapped advertising angles. You can't advertise like everyone else and expect different results, like I always say. On the marketing side, the copy side of things, not the creative side, spend more time proving your marketing claims than actually making claims. Prove everything that you say. Always. Don't expect that people are going to believe you, because they won't. And lastly, focus on building trust and establishing credibility for health brands. Work with doctors, for skincare brands, work with dermatologists, etc. Make sure that you have a foundation of trust around your business that's going to make people want to do business with your e-commerce store, right? Super important. This is just absolutely key. If you don't have this in 2021, you're going to suffer 100%. So in conclusion, in every crisis, there's an opportunity. Just like Marcus Aurelius used to say, it's also the name of a really good book, The Obstacle is the Way. So use the current more challenging business environment as an opportunity to step up your product quality, your marketing, your branding, your customer support. You can do better, 100%. And it doesn't have to actually take more effort. It takes intelligence and knowing the highest leverage ways of growing your business. What that means is, there's a lot of ways that you're currently using your time in your business that are low value, and you need to get rid of those and replace them with high value uses of your time. So low value uses of your time are all the typical like email, communication stuff, and high value uses of your time is actually implementing the things you learned in this video to anticipate what's going to happen. Stepping up your marketing, building new funnels, making sure that your customers have a good buying experience, making sure they have a good post-purchase experience, making sure that they have a higher tendency to buy from you, increasing your product quality. Those are all extremely high value uses of your time, and you need to skew the way you use your time towards those in order to not only survive 2021, but we're not here to survive, we're here to thrive, right? So if you really want to crush it, if you want to do well in 2021, this is what you have to do. So as always, this is Emmanuel Friendrich, your e-commerce growth expert. If you like this video, please like and subscribe so that other people can learn about all this good stuff, and I'll see you very soon.